Okay, I think we'll get started. For our practice today, we'll be really focusing on the side body and the outer seat. We're moving in the direction of half moon. If you like to use a block for half moon, you can grab one. I don't have any with me where I'm at, but I've been teaching this class in studios this week, and we've been working with 2 blocks throughout. So you can always use blocks, especially with half moon. I find it really helpful, but if not, no worries. I'll cue 2 options for if you aren't using a block as well. We're going to start just right away in some meditation. So go ahead and either find a comfortable seat, or if you prefer to start in Shavasana, that's where we'll move from. So you can also begin just lying on your back body. Just give yourself a moment to adjust to the earth, either finding that connection between your sits bones and the ground, your whole back body, and your yoga mat. And allowing your eyes to close, your shoulders to soften. Go ahead and take a deep breath in through your nose, nice and full. And as you're ready, an open mouth exhale to release. And then as you breathe through your nose, starting to deepen every inhale. And lengthen every exhale. As you deepen each cycle of breath, allowing this beginning of your practice of breath awareness and body awareness to be a transition period. Your opportunity to switch from your mind and the thinking that fills each day to the awareness of body that connects us to each present moment. Starting to notice the more subtle sounds and sensations. Noticing any areas of initial stickiness in your body. Maybe just turning your focus to those areas to encourage some softness, some release. In this last moment before we start to shift into the movement of our practice, allowing your heart space to open up. See if an intention begins to step forward. To allowing that openness and to leave room for the heart to offer an intention. And once an intention has stepped forward, feeling that intention within your heart and letting it also reach throughout your body, so that your practice today is an embodiment of that intention. And then with that intention, we'll take 2 cycles of clearing breath. So go ahead and take a really big breath in through your nose again. And open mouth exhale, release. And then one more time, deep breath in through your nose. And cleansing exhale, let it all go. And then as you seal your lips and breathe through your nose again. If you're not already on your back body, go ahead and find your way to your back body and make your way into a full body stretch. I'm gonna kick little fin out of here. As you find your way to your back body in that full body stretch, start with some ankle circles, some wrist circles. Maybe spread through your fingers and through your toes, creating a stretch through the soles of your feet, the palms of your hands. And eventually bring both of your knees into your body. Little rock from side to side. And eventually interlace your hands onto your right shin. Extend your left leg out so you're in wind removing pose. Gather your right leg close, and then keep your right leg close, but release your arms out wide to a capital T. We're going to take 2 big hip circles with our right leg. So on your inhale, draw a big circle with your right knee, just in one direction. You can even lengthen your right foot forward to complete that circle, opening up. And then your exhale, just draw a big hip circle the other direction. Again, feel free to add some length to your leg to complete that circle. And then pausing at the top, inhale again. And then exhale to your supine twist. Let your right knee tip across you towards the left. And just let your collarbones open wide to the sky. Taking one more slow and steady inhale here. See if your exhale wants to twist you a little bit deeper. And then as you unwind, we're going to unwind into a figure 4, right ankle stacked on top of your left thigh. You can either bend your left knee and just land your left foot to the earth this morning, or go ahead and bring that whole figure 4 to your body, maybe threading the needle. So hands can interlace around your left hamstring. If you have a lot of space in your hips, you can also reach on top of your left shin. But flex your right ankle, encourage your right thigh bone and shin bone away from your heart. And then take a little rock from side to side. Reach a breath into your right hip. And then on your exhale, when you're moving pose, second side, release your right leg long, pull your left thigh into your body. Once you have that, go ahead and send your wings out wide and draw one hip circle in one direction on your inhale. Really take your time, just using that full range of motion for your left hip to go one way. A little bit of core engagement for stability. And on your exhale, draw a big circle the opposite direction. And just checking in with your hip this morning. At the top, you'll find an inhale as you return to wind removing pose. Then exhale, supine twist, left knee tips across you this time. And then just start with one slow cycle of breath. Maybe energize your left knee away from the midline. See if that helps to twist you a little bit deeper, to rinse through your center a little bit more. And just as we done the first side, we'll go into figure 4 next, left ankle on your right thigh. I'm deciding on the depth that you'd like to take it for this side, and then deciding if you'd like to be in movement or stillness as you flex your left ankle. And by that opposing action, so left leg is moving away from the body as you gather your right thigh in close. And that opposing action helps to deepen the stretch. You can also think about reaching your sits bones forward and away, so lengthening through your side bodies and back body. Let's take one more breath in. And then on exhale, we're going to unwind for bridge pose. So go ahead and release both feet to the earth. Your feet about hips distance, take a big breath in, and then we're going to exhale to lift our pelvis and your feet down into the earth and your hips up into the sky. Seeing that relationship between the rootedness of your feet and the lift of your hips. And then think about a little bit more length here. So encourage your knees forward, feel your tailbone reach forward. And then also your shoulder blades can be really helpful here. Use your shoulder blades to encourage your heart as the wall behind your head. So creating length from your sternum to your knees. Strong through your seat, strong through your hamstrings, and active through your center. Pull your navel to your spine. Taking one more slow breath in. And then with the exhale, go ahead and slowly lower all the way down to the earth, just taking your time to release your hips to your yoga mat. We'll eventually bring your knees into your chest again. And then tip over to your right side for fetal pose just for a moment. And from your fetal pose, we're going to press our way up to a seat. We'll take our core connection right from a seat today. So rising up at the top of your yoga mat, I'm just going to start with your knees bent. And then go ahead and place your elbows to the earth. So you're on your forearms. And your elbows are stacked directly beneath your shoulders. Fingertips face your seat. You're going to push through your forearms so you're proud through your chest. And then engage your belly and bring your knees up into a 90-degree bend. You zip your legs together. So you're strong at your center. Legs are squeezing to the midline. And then you're going to tip over to your right glute. So on your right booty cheek, take your right fingertips and point them away from the midline. And then go ahead and lean onto your right forearm so you can bring your left hand behind your head. Now, sometimes people kind of sink into the right shoulder here to really push through your right forearm to lift your chest proud. You might kind of feel like a little bit of like a foam rolling sensation through your right seat, especially if your glutes are tight. Twisting your heart open towards the front of your yoga mat. On your inhale, you're going to lengthen your legs forward to like the front right corner of the room. And then on your exhale, bend your knees in. Draw your heart into your thighs, low curl crunch. Really pull your thighs in close. And then as you inhale to lengthen your legs, turn your heart forward to the top of your yoga mat. So twisting back open. Exhale, curl crunch. Draw your thighs in super close. Press to your right forearm. Squeeze your left elbow towards your shin bones. And then inhale, lengthen your legs, turn your heart open and forward. Good. Exhale, draw it in. Squeeze. And inhale, lengthen out. I think we have one more on your exhale. Pull in through center using your core to draw your thighs in close. And then inhale, lengthen out. Good. On your exhale, bend your knees. Just come back to that starting point through center, both forearms on the earth. Place your feet to your yoga mat. And then you can take a couple windshield wipers if you'd like to. We'll do the same thing second side. So just start by rooting through the earth to lift your chest, pull your belly in and bring your knees up to this tabletop shape. So you zip your legs together, tip over to your left glute. Turn your left fingertips to face away from the midline. That way, as you lean onto your left forearm, you have a really stable base. Take your right hand behind your head. You can notice if you're kind of like dumping into your left shoulder, push through your left forearm to lift up and out of the earth. Heart turns open towards the front of your yoga mat as you send your legs out long. You can play with the height of your legs here too. Take a big breath in. Exhale, draw your thighs in, a little curl crunch. Then inhale, legs go long, turn your heart open to the front of your yoga mat. Exhale to contract, keep pushing the earth away with your left forearm. 3 more here, inhale, lengthen, open, navel hugs tightly to your spine. Exhale, contract. Last 2, inhale, expand. Exhale, draw in. And final one, inhale, lengthen, twist open. And exhale, pull your thighs in super close. And then as you're ready to release, come back through center. Take a couple more windshield wipers from side to side. And then go ahead and press your way up and roll over your shins into your tabletop pose. So making your way to all fours, bring your shoulders to stack over your wrists, and then bring your hips to stack over your knees. And we'll right away move into a cow pose. So start to inhale, lift your heart and your tailbone tall. Good, and exhale, cat pose, round your spine, let your head hang heavy as you push down and away through your hands. Just one more time, deep breath in takes you to cow. Open your chest and exhale to your cat pose, round your spine. And then finding a neutral spine, I'm going to take one more little engagement here. So bring your left forearm down to the earth, parallel to the top short edge of your yoga mat. And then just take your right hand nice and wide, boxing out your elbow to create kind of like a 90-degree bend. As you push down through your form in your right hand so that your heart isn't dumping to the earth, but we're nice and proud to the chest, you're going to engage your belly and then lift your right leg up and back and open your right hip like a half moon. Flexing through your right foot, use your outer seat strength to lift your right foot high. At the same time, really pull your navel in super tight so that you feel like a little bit more of a tug in your right seat. Lean more weight into your right hand and press your hips towards the right side of your yoga mat. And take an inhale, maybe your right foot lifts higher if that's available. On your exhale, you're going to bend your right knee towards your right shoulder. The goal is not to touch your shoulder. You want to keep your knee really high and your hip really open. Keep leaning into your right hand, navel to spine. Squeeze your thigh in, and then on your inhale, slowly push your right leg up and back, lifting your right leg high. Keep pressing your pelvis to the right side of your yoga mat and pulling your navel to your spine. 2 more. Right knee's going to slide forward. And think about keeping your hip open, knee high, lean to the right. And then slowly use your right seat muscle to extend your right leg up and back. You're tucking through your strong core, maybe your right foot is a little bit higher for this last one. Keep pushing down through your left form. Slide your right knee forward, forward, forward. Knee is high, hip is open, and then push your right foot up and back. Awesome, find that lift at the top, and then go ahead and release right knee to the earth. We're just going to switch directly to second side. So right forearm to the ground. Again, parallel to the top edge of your yoga mat. Take your left hand wide just so you have that nice big base. Push the earth away through your forearm and hand. Engaging your belly, lift your left leg up and open your hip like a half moon. So imagine stacking your left hip over your right. As you flex your foot, squeeze your glute to lift your hip foot a little bit higher. Now, the 2 key elements of this are pressing your pelvis energetically to the left side of your yoga mat while pulling your navel to your spine. If you keep those 2 actions going this whole time, you'll get more of the seat engagement that we're looking for. Big breath in, left knee towards left shoulder on your exhale. Again, don't worry about touching knee to shoulder. Prioritize the height of your knee and the openness of your hip. And slowly from your seat strength, send your left leg up and back as you inhale. Right, 2 more, left knee towards left shoulder. Keep pressing your hips to the left and pulling your navel to your spine as you slide your knee forward. And then extend your left leg slowly up and back. Maybe find a little extra lift at the top. Last one here, proud chest, left knee slides forward. Strong through your seat. And then slowly send your left leg up and back and open. Lift. And release to tabletop pose. Press up to all fours. And then go ahead and tuck your toes and find downward facing dog. So first moment to check in with your hamstrings. Maybe send one heel down to the earth. Then the other. And spread your fingers really wide as you push the earth away. Relax your head and just take one more breath here. Then on your next breath in, lift your right leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Your exhale, you're going to bend your knee and open your hip like a dog at a fire hydrant. Relaxing your head. On your inhale, draw a big circle with your knee one direction. So using the full range of motion of your hip, one big hip circle. Moving from the strength of your seat. And on your exhale, reverse your circle. Just one slow, big circle with your knee coming from the strength of your seat. Go ahead and step your right foot forward to the top of your yoga mat. Rising up to your fingertips, let your left knee come to a hover, your cow lunge, stretch your sternum through your biceps. Good, big breath in. And then on your exhale, press to your right foot, lengthen both of your legs to your cat lunge, your hamstring stretch. Try to draw your right hip back in space. Stretch your sternum forward in space. See how it feels to have your left heel reach towards the earth versus have your left heel high coming to your left tippy toe. And see how it feels to press the 4 corners of your right foot into the earth versus flexing your right toes towards your face. So all different sensations. And then bend into your front knee, step forward to a forward fold, left foot to the top. So soften your knees, let your head be really heavy here. Then take a little sway forward and back. Then go ahead and inhale to your halfway lift. As you're ready, begin to lengthen out through your spine, feel your core engage. And exhale, forward fold, release. We'll rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana, big breath in, circle sweep to the sky. And with exhale, goddess to your arms, a little softness in your knees. As you open your elbows wide, think about lifting your sternum to the sky. Good, inhale, reach high again. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, extend long through your torso. And then high plank pose, plant your hands and step your feet back. And just taking a moment to set up your plank, finding that really strong foundation. You push the earth away, just feel that space between your shoulders and your ears. The crown of your head reaches forward. You want to maintain that space through every plank and every chaturanga transition. So as you inhale to shift forward, exhale slowly to your belly. Think about keeping that space between your shoulders and your ears. Elbows reach back as the crown of your head reaches forward. The lower all the way to your belly. Then untuck your toes. Root down through your toenails and inhale to your low cobra. Lift the back of your heart. Continue to lengthen through the nape of your neck. And exhale, lower down. We'll inhale to a low or high cobra next. So if you want to lift a little bit taller, inhale, feel free to lift. But again, keep your shoulders away from your ears. Your elbows are hugging to the midline. If you're in a high cobra, you should feel a lot of tricep engagement. And then exhale, we release. Last round here, low cobra, high cobra, or your upward facing dog. So big breath in, possibly up dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Strong core lifts your hips to the sky. And once you find your down dog, inhale to lift your left leg to the ceiling. And then bend your knee and open your hip with your exhale. To keep your shoulders square, relax your head. And again, from the strength of your seat, you're going to draw one huge circle with your left knee. Trying to use that full range of motion. You're going to take it one direction as you inhale. And then reverse directions as you exhale. Good. From here, left foot steps to the top of your yoga mat, low lunge. As you lift your fingertips, right knee hovers, cow lunge. Right knee and sternum stretch in opposite directions. A full inhale, maybe your heart gets a little bit prouder. And an exhale, press through your left foot to extend your legs for your cat lunge, hamstring stretch. Good. Now as you try to encourage your hips towards square, think left hip back, right hip forward, and then find that exploration through your right foot and your left foot. Maybe reach your right heel down to the earth. And see how it feels to come to your right tippy toe. Press to the four corners of your left foot. And see how it feels to flex your left toes towards the sky. Good. From here, bend into your front foot. And then go ahead and find your forward fold, right foot to the top of your yoga mat. Right away, inhale to a halfway lift, moving from your core. Let the core strength initiate the lift. Exhale to release. We'll rise all the way up. Deep breath in, Urdhva Hastasana. And same as before, goddess arms, but think about your shoulder blades lifting your sternum up. So your back body is helping to boost your heart to the sky. And then reach tall on your inhale. And forward fold as you exhale. Halfway lift, lengthen on your breath in. And step it back to your high plank pose when you're ready. As strong through your foundation, keeping that awareness of the space between shoulders and ears, go ahead and inhale, shift forward. On your exhale, chaturanga, lower halfway or all the way. Elbows and crown reach in opposite directions. Open your heart, up dog or cobra. Huge breath in. And downward facing dog, hips to the sky as you breathe out. Then we'll take a clearing breath here. So take a big breath in through your nose. And open mouth, exhale, release. Imagine there's a block between your biceps. Squeeze your upper arm bones to the midline. And then inhale, lift your right leg to the sky. On your exhale, bend your knee and open your hip. Keep your shoulders square. That same dog in a fire hydrant shape. Take a big breath in. Now on your exhale, we're going to take our right knee towards our right shoulder, keeping our hip open as we shift forward. So right knee towards right shoulder, hip stays open as you shift forward. You're going to draw like a half circle. You're going to draw that same half circle up, back, and open to where you just were. So you should feel a lot of glute and core. Same thing, right knee to right shoulder, hip is open as you slide forward, square shoulders, strong belly. And then half dog, draw that same half circle up, back, and open. One more time, right knee to right shoulder. It's like a very full body movement, back up, open to your half dog. Awesome, inhale, reach your right leg long, three-legged, and step your right foot forward. So your upper body gets a little break here. Just setting up your strong feet for a lunge. We're going to slowly make our way to high crescent. So lead with your heart, send your sternum slightly forward, and press through your feet and really take your time to rise all the way up. Good. The top, go ahead and pause for your breath in. Gathering a breath into your lungs, and then on your exhale, we're going to find our airplane arms. So just your arms. As your hands pull back, feel your pelvis energize slightly to the back of your yoga mat too. From your airplane lunge, we're going to rise up into an exalted crescent, facing to the right side of our yoga mat. So as you rise up, you're going to scoop your left hand to the sky. Right hand reaches towards left hamstring. You're twisting your heart to the right. We'll do that transition a couple more times so it'll become more familiar as we go. Inhale, shoulder blades again, lift your sternum, so back body lifts front body. And exhale, warrior two, slowly spin your left heel down. Right away, reverse your triangle, lengthen your right leg, reach your right hand to the sky, big breath in. Then we're gonna go side angle pose, so bend into your right knee. Turn your heart open to your left hand. So here you can always take your right hand to a block if you're working with one. Otherwise, right forearm is really light on your right thigh. Give yourself one more breath here, spiraling your chest open to the ceiling. Strong anchors of your feet. Keep your right knee bent and inhale to reverse your warrior. Right hand's gonna reach up and back. Now pausing here, option to add in a half bind. Maybe take the back of your left forearm or hand to your low back. If it's available, you can also scoot your left fingertips to your right hip crease. Just make sure your front ribs are still contained, so you're not flaring out through your front ribs and dumping into your low back. From here, we're going to start to lengthen out our right leg for Trikonasana. Sometimes it's helpful to wiggle the back foot a little bit. Keep a micro bend through your right knee, hug muscle to bone, and start to reach forward and down. So you can bring your right hand to the earth or a block. I like to flip so that the back of my right hand is on the inside of my right calf, and I can use that to twist my heart open here. Collarbones nice and wide. Super strong through my legs. My front ribs are pulling in, so my left obliques are really active, especially as I press through my left leg. And then one more moment here. We're going to start to find our way back into warrior two. Start by bending through your right knee. Spread your wings open wide on your inhale. And start pose, rise up, turn all 10 toes to the long edge of your yoga mat. And bend into your left knee for a side lunge or skandasana. Cool. So taking a full inhale here. We're going to exhale to the top of our yoga mat, low lunge. So bend into your right knee and crawl your way forward. Then at the top of your yoga mat, plant through your hands. High plank or one-legged plank, you choose, strong through your center. If you're in a one-legged plank, really light up your left thigh. Inhale forward and exhale, chaturanga or downward facing dog. Maybe moving through a flow or just going up and back. Okay. Once you arrive to down dog, take a big breath in and cleansing exhale. Moving into the second side of that very full layer, go ahead and inhale your left leg to the sky. Bend your knee and open your hips, square through your shoulders. Take an inhale at the top. During that half circle, left knee towards left shoulder, shift forward slow. So you're trying to keep your hip relatively open as you shift. It doesn't need to touch, so left knee does not need to touch left shoulder. And then up, back, and open. Try to keep your hip open during a big half circle. 2 more, left knee towards left shoulder. Square shoulders, heart proud, reach your heart forward as you shift. Then knee is high as you shift up, back, and open. Your left glute is crazy strong. 1 more time here. Shift forward. Super strong center. Then up, back, and open from your core and left seat. 3-legged dog, re-extend your left leg. And then place your left foot forward to the top of your yoga mat. Giving your upper body a break for a moment. Make sure your feet are hips distance. And that forward extension to your heart first. And then high crescent lunge. Slow and strong. You press through our feet to rise all the way up. Beautiful. Take a big breath in at the top. Then that lift of the crown of your head to the sky. Exhale, airplane arms hinge forward. So notice how my heart is still really proud here. I want to keep an upward energy through my body. And then as I breathe in, exalted crescent twisting to the left. So turn your heart to the left. Right hand scoops to the sky. Let your left hand reach towards your right hamstring. And then again, think about lifting your ribcage off your pelvis. Shoulder blades lift your heart to the sky. Full breath in. When you're ready, warrior 2. Slowly root your right heel down to the earth as you open up. And right away, reverse your triangle to release your left hip a little bit. When you're ready to go to side angle, you're going to bend back into your left knee. And open your heart towards the sky. Again, bending that buoyancy away from our left thigh bone, even if we're using it as support, a bit of buoyancy. Good strong legs, keep your left thigh bent, reverse your warrior on your inhale. From here, option for that half bind, right hand behind you. Collarbones are really wide if you're having that half bind as an option. And then right fingertips can also scooch towards your left hip crease if you want. Headed to Trikonasana. If you want to kind of heel toe that back foot in a little bit, feel free to. And then start to lengthen out your left leg. If you have that hook of your fingertips on your hip crease, you're pulling your pelvis to the back of your yoga mat as you reach forward. You can always stay lifted for more core. Again, left hand can go to a block or the earth, or maybe flip your left palm to face away from your left calf. And you're pressing the back of your left hand to your calf so your heart is open. Twist your heart to the sky. Super strong through your legs. Good. 1 more moment here. And there's a micro bend through your left knee. I know this hold is very challenging, so keep breathing as your front ribs hug to center for support. Warrior 2, bend into your left knee. Open your wings wide and push the earth away. Star pose, rise up, rotate your toes forward. As you bend into your right knee for your lateral lunge or side lunge, or Skandasana, just take a moment to lengthen through your spine. And a nice big breath in. And then exhale, low lunge to the top of your yoga mat. Begin to pivot your way forward. You'll choose one-legged plank or high plank on your inhale. Then strong right quad if you have a one-legged plank, and exhale through your chaturanga. Go ahead and take a little pause in child's pose before we move through our last layer. Allow your knees to find the earth, let your hips reach back to your heels. Then closing your eyes, take 3 cycles of breath. So we're about to shift into our last layer of standing flow. If you're working with a yoga block for your half moon, like I said, I don't have one here with me, so I'm going to be working without. I'll cue for both. But for this first slide, you're going to want the block at the top right corner of your yoga mat, so you can grab it with your right hand. Yeah. Other than that, when you're ready, we'll get started in a downward facing dog again. So go ahead and find your way up to downward facing dog. I'm going to flip directions on my yoga mat just so that I'm facing towards you for the first time. But you're in a downward facing dog, facing the top of your yoga mat, and you're going to inhale your right leg to the ceiling when you're ready. Big breath in. On your exhale, bend your knee and open your hip. Stay or a wild thing, maybe step your right toes lightly behind you, maintaining the length of your left leg, a little micro bend with your left elbow. Open your heart to the sky, again, your shoulder blades, your back body, helping to facilitate that openness across your heart. Three-legged dog, strong core, reach your right leg to the ceiling, big breath in. And then this time you're going to take your right knee underneath you to your left tricep. So you don't have to draw a half circle, just take your right knee towards left tricep, reach your heart forward. And then three-legged dog, inhale, right leg to the sky. Same thing, right knee, left tricep. Squeezing your biceps to the midline, reach your heart forward. And three-legged dog. I'm going to take that just one more time. I know that's a lot. Right knee, left tricep, shift forward. And then three-legged dog, big breath in. Good. Place your right foot forward to the top of your yoga mat. I'm going to take you a little pause before we continue on. Lift to your fingertips, cow lunge, left knee hovers on your inhale. And exhale, cat lunge, lengthen your legs for a moment as you catch your breath. And from here, you'll bend into your front knee. And feet about hips distance as you press through your feet and lead with your heart, high crescent lunge. Inhale, rise all the way up. With exhale, airplane arms with that same little progression that we did before. Exalt your crescent, twist your heart to the right. On your inhale, your left hand scoops up to the sky. Right hand reaches back towards left hamstring. And exhale, warrior two, unwind. From here, reverse your triangle, big breath in, lengthen up and aft. Once you feel really stable in your feet, you can always move your feet around. We're going to go into our side angle. So bend your right knee, right forearm to your thigh or to a block. Right forearm to your thigh or right hand to a block. Your left hand can either stay lifted, or if you want to, continue with the half bind, take your left hand behind you. Make sure your left shoulder is not just hanging out, but you're actively drawing your left shoulder back in space, collarbones open. And from here, heel toe your back foot in just slightly, so you're a little bit shorter in stance. And then looking to where you're headed, we're going to be moving towards our half moon. You can float this, you can bring your right hand to the earth, or you can take your right hand to your yoga block. Yep. As you tip into your right foot, just come to your left tippy toe. Try not to go anywhere else. And then push through your right foot. So instead of pushing off your left toes, you're going to push through your right foot and lift your left leg into the air from that strip. Flex your left foot really strong. Lift your left leg to the sky. Twist your heart open to the ceiling. And these will all look different, especially depending on where your right hand is in space. Notice my right hand's on the ground. So my left leg's going to lift a lot higher than if my right hand were on a yoga block. You can bend your right knee. Again, if you're working with the half bind and you decide you'd rather spread your wings open, reach your left hand to the sky, turn your sternum up towards your left thumb. Wherever you are, take a big breath in, make sure your left seat is active, flex your left foot. And we're gonna release into a warrior two. So slow motion, bend your right knee, use your right leg strength to slowly place your left foot down. Good, start a pose, we rise up and out of that. Releasing away the effort, wide-legged forward fold, soften your knees and hinge forward. And just allow yourself to hang heavy for 2 breaths. And then go ahead and keep your legs long and a halfway lift on your third breath. So your third inhale, whenever that moves through your body, lift up halfway. Place your right fingertips or right palm below your face and twist your left hand to the sky. You can also take your left hand to your sacrum, your low back, to kind of feel how even your hips are. Making sure your hips are even as you rotate. One big breath in. On your exhale, wide-legged forward fold again, just release. We're going to pivot to the top of our yoga mat. So you're turning to the top of your yoga mat once again to frame your right foot. So you push the earth away, one-legged plank or high plank on your inhale. Vinyasa or down dog as you exhale. Just finding your way through your flow. We'll meet back in downward facing dog eventually. And go ahead and take a really deep inhale through your nose, just a little breath of reset. And cleansing exhale, let it go. On your next breath in, lift your left leg to the sky. Reconnecting to your three-legged dog, bend your knee, open your hip. Stay or wild thing, left toes land behind you. Just for a moment, little micro bend through your right elbow as you open up. Breathe into the back of your body. And then three-legged dog, your left hand's gonna land, your left leg is going to lift. I know the beginning of this layer is very strong. Take an inhale. Left knee towards the right tricep as you exhale. Again, ditching any half circling, just left knee towards the right tricep. Hold your heart through your biceps. And then inhale, three-legged dog, left leg to the sky. Two more. Again, don't try to touch your knee to your tricep necessarily. That's not the priority. You're trying to line up your left side body. So think square shoulders, heart forward. Pulling your thigh across with your left obliques. Three-legged dog, breath in. Last one here, left knee towards right tricep. Feeling your left side body engage as you reach your heart through. And three-legged dog, breath in. And land your left foot to the top of your yoga mat. We'll take a moment in our cow lunge. Really deep inhale to catch your breath. And cat lunge, exhale some length through your legs. And from here, bend into your front knee. Proud through your chest, high crescent lunge. Slow to rise to keep your hips steady as you find your way up. Big breath in at the top. Follow your exhale to your airplane lunge. So heart dives forward. From here, exalt your crescent, twist your heart to the left. So right hand scoops up the sky, big breath in. So you're like reaching across your body. And then slowly warrior two, right heel to the earth. Reverse your triangle, left leg lengthens, left hand high. Good. From your reverse triangle, when you are ready, we're going side angle pose. So bending into your left knee. Right hand reaches to the ceiling, we twist our heart open. Then your left forearm can be on your thigh. You can also bring left hand to a block. Choosing to work with a block if you would like to. If you're interested in the half bind again, right hand goes behind you. And spread your collarbones wide, pull your front ribs in. Right, the head of your right shoulder is really drawing back in space. This is to promote the openness of your chest. Wiggle your back foot in, maybe like one or two heel toes. Yeah. So you're slightly shoulder in stance, looking to where you're headed. I like to look down and forward at the earth, the top of my yoga mat. You're going to start to lean into your left foot, just come to your right to be toe. Try not to rocket launch yourself forward. Push down with your left foot to lift your right leg to the sky as you flex your right foot, just like we were doing at the very beginning of class in our tabletop. You're opening your hip and using your outer seat strength to lift up and out of your left hip joint. And then once you have the lower half, check in with your upper body. Can you open your heart more? Lean your right shoulder back towards stacking over your left shoulder. As you spiral your heart to the sky, feel your left ribs go forward to the wall that you're looking at, forward in front of you, and your right ribs are rolling back in space. Maybe there's a little softness in your left knee. Maybe your navel hugs tighter to your spine as you lift your right leg a little bit higher, if that's available. And then you're going to use the strength of your left leg to slow motion step back to warrior two. And the key is going slow and control. So gently release to your warrior two. Spread your wings open, releasing that half bind. Star pose, rise up and open and wide-legged forward fold. Go ahead and dive down. So just starting with one breath here. Maybe an open mouth exhale if you're holding your breath during your half moon. Take one more breath just like that. And feel free to open mouth exhale if you'd like to. Then find your halfway lift on your inhale. Your left hand's going to go to the earth. You can be on your fingertips or your palm. Twist your right hand to the sky. Option to bring right hand to sacrum for evenness in your hips. And then maybe re-extend your right hand to the ceiling. So sometimes what happens is if our hips are twisting with us, the twist doesn't focus as much in the mid to thoracic spine, which is the stickiest area of our spine. So if we can stabilize our hips, sometimes we get a deeper stretch through that mid and upper back area, though we may not twist as deeply in terms of how far we rotate around. We're going to release through our forward fold and crawl to the top of our yoga mat, low lunge to the top. When you're ready, one-legged plank or high plank. Last time, inhale, reach your left leg back. Exhale, vinyasa or down dog. Moving through your transition of choice. Go ahead and release to child's pose when you're ready. So let your knees lean to the earth, your hips sink to your heels, and find 3 more slow breaths. As you rise up through a seat, we're going to take one seated stretch before finding our way to our back body. And the seated stretch will be focused on releasing our outer seat. So our glutes worked really hard today. We want to counterbalance that. I'm just going to turn to face you, but we're going to either take a cross-legged seat and forward fold, or if you have more space in your hips, you could also do a double pigeon with a forward fold, or even Gomukhasana legs. So for cross-legged seat, you can start with your right shin in front of your left. For double pigeon, you're going to stack your right shin on top of your left, making sure you flex your feet. Your shin bones are about in line with your knees. For Gomukhasana, you're going to slide your right thigh on top of your left, so your feet are going wide, and your ankles are about in line with your knees. Yeah? Whatever variation you want. Make sure that your knees feel healthy on what you choose. And then once you can feel that rootedness through your sits bones on the earth, go ahead and reach your hands to the sky on your inhale. Good, and exhale to any amount of a forward fold. So keep in mind, if you're in something like double pigeon or Gomukhasana, you may not fold as deeply as you would in your cross-legged seat. Being gentle with your body, especially all of the engagement that we did through our outer glutes today. Take maybe 2 to 3 more breaths. Just gradually moving towards your own depth. Take at least 1 more breath here. If you'd like to stay longer, feel free to spend more time in this shape. Otherwise, you're going to slowly rise up and out as you lean back and unwind your legs. If you would like to, it might feel nice to take a couple slow windshield wipers from side to side. And then we'll move to second side. So you'll take left shin in front for a cross-legged seat, left shin on top, or left thigh on top for Gomukhasana legs. So choosing your variation, finding your sits bones firmly connected to the ground. Go ahead and inhale, reach up. On your exhale, start to hinge forward. So feel your sitting bones or your thigh bones reaching back in space, like your hip creases are pulling back as you hinge forward. And what that looks like from the side is, instead of just going down, there's this potential to round through our spines a little bit more. As I go down with this like pulling back of my thigh bones action, it gives me a little bit more potential to keep my neutral spine. So my thigh bones are gonna pull back energetically, my heart's pulling forward, and I might not have to go as far to get that really deep stretch through my hips. That's 2 to 3 breaths. And check in to make sure that whatever shape you've chosen feels healthy for your knees. The stretch is going into the belly of your muscles, not your knee joints. And when you're ready to release from here, there's no rush, just so that you know where we're headed when you're ready. You will eventually rise up, unwind your legs. Option to do a couple more windshield wipers once again. A little shift back and forth. And then we're going to lower to our back body. So making your way to the top of your yoga mat, either just hug your knees in and relax back, or feel free to lower slowly and controlled through your core strength. We'll find our way to the back body into a full body stretch on inhale. Reach from your fingers to your toes. And with exhale, gather your knees into your chest. Pull your thighs in close, lengthening through your low back. Take an inhale here. And then exhale to your gentle twist. Let your knees drop over to the left. Maybe gaze drops to the right. You can also take an eagle leg twist if you wanted to wrap your right leg around your left instead. Breathing towards your back body, your low back. Sometimes when we're working with external rotation and really strong glute engagement at the same time, the low back will sometimes get compromised if the glutes aren't really as engaged as they could be, or if our seat isn't as strong to support that movement or that shape. And also it's just like sometimes the glutes are trying to be lazy, so the low back tries to take over instead. So make sure you're sending breath into your lumbar spine. And we're just going to slowly unwind back through center. Take a moment at the midline and take a big breath in. And then use your exhale to drop your knees to the right. Gentle twist second side. Or eagle leg twist if you'd like to wrap your left thigh around your right. Breathing deeply along your left side and into the back of your body for 2 more really slow cycles. And when we unwind through center, this last time, there's no rush, just over your next breath or 2, you'll start to unwind. Bring your knees to your chest, curl your nose up to your knees, tucking into your chin, find a really tight little ball. Take a big breath to the back of your body again. And then exhale to Shavasana, allow everything to lengthen out. Or find joy into whatever shape you'd like to rest in this morning, allowing your body to really settle into the earth. So you let go of any unnecessary holding or tension to the body. Allow your eyes to close. And if it would feel good to take one more clearing breath, go ahead and deeply inhale through your nose. And open mouth exhale, let your breath go. Maybe checking in to notice if your awareness has drifted away from the present moment. And then with kindness, bringing all of your attention back to the flow of your breath. Maybe not trying to control the breath at all, but just observing that natural ebb and flow of inhale in and exhale out. And with your awareness on your breath, you can either continue to rest exactly as you are, or you can start to bring some movement back into your body. So whatever feels true to you, maybe you start with your fingers, your toes, your ankles, your wrists. Might feel good to take a full body stretch. So perhaps an inhale reaches your hands overhead. And then with exhale, let your hands eventually arrive at your heart center. Unless you'd like to find your way up to a comfortable seat, then you can find your way up to a tall spine to close your practice. We take this final pause at the end of our practice to recognize the time and the energy that you devoted to deepening your relationship with your body and your breath today. Pausing in gratitude of this practice and this community. I'm grateful for a practice that offers us so much, in honor of its ancient roots. We'll take one more clearing breath together to close our class today. So deep inhale through your nose. And cleansing exhale, let it go. May yoga offer us a path to compassion. And may our practices serve as our teachers, our own guides in living more authentically and loving more deeply each and every day. Thank you so much for being here, and namaste.